Hello, Patreon subscribers and new listeners. You are listening to Feed Your Mind, and today we will be discussing the Hollow Earth and how it is not what you were told. And so, according to my research into the Hollow Earth, this is what I've come up with. There's tons of caverns and cave systems, and the thing is, we need to start wondering what these caves actually are. And so, is it possible that these cave systems are actually tunnel systems? And then we got to wonder why exactly these cave systems are here and how were they actually formed? And also, where do they lead to? And so, underneath the earth, we've come to the conclusion that it has so far been impossible for any man to get beyond 8 miles underneath the earth. We also know that there's tons of lava underneath the earth, and there also is reports of water underneath the earth. And then, like we have discussed in this video, there's cave systems underneath the earth that you might also consider possible tunnel systems. And so in my video, Is Lava the Lake of Fire, we discuss how several ancient civilizations knew of these tunnels and cave systems underneath the earth, and civilizations like the Mayans had detailed reports of these cave systems leading to various chambers. They called these chambers various names, and there were sacrifices going on down there, apparently in order to gain access to the next chamber. And they thought that each chamber was guarded by some type of entity, and in order to go deeper beneath the earth, you had to deal with this entity in order to gain access to the next tunnel system that would lead to another chamber, where you would have to deal with another entity, and so on, until you reach the point where you're in this place considered to be the underworld. This underworld is apparently a place that's said to be illuminated with some type of light system. So that almost makes me wonder if this is a dimensional place. This alleged underworld is said to be basically like another world or another Earth type place. They've called this place Shamballa and all types of other names. Or is it possible that this place is not really illuminated like they're saying? And so if there's any truth to this underground area, what do you think? Are they either crossing over into another dimensional reality, or is this place contained within our physical reality? And it could possibly be some type of entire plane of existence that exists underneath us. One location that seems to be underneath the earth is this place called the pit, or as the Bible would call Sheol. This place seems to be an actual location that's underneath the earth. And so if you want to learn much more about Sheol, watch my entire playlist, Beneath the Earth is Not What You Were Told, because we go into a deep discussion about Sheol in some of these videos that you might want to check out. And so there have been other reports about there being some mysterious hole in the north center of the earth. And I was almost wondering if this hole could be some type of portal. And by the way, I forgot to mention that the hollow earth theory makes much more sense on a flat earth plane model versus a globe earth model with the hollow earth on the inside of a globe. When you analyze this subject from a flat earth perspective, I would definitely argue that it seems to make much more sense to entertain this hollow earth theory from a flat earth perspective. And so apparently there doesn't seem to be any real confirmed flights that ever fly over this North Pole area where there have been reports of this hole. So if flights are indeed restricted in that area, that would actually add to the whole legitimacy of this whole discussion. There have been said to be giants down there with all types of technology and even fully constructed cities down there. But really all the talk about there being cities and all of these things like that could be some type of lure or some type of trap or some type of demonic vision given to people in order to somehow get curious people to travel over there and end up in the pit of the abyss, where there's an area where the fallen angels are said to be until the time of the end. So this is an area where they're saying that there's all types of activity and flying craft that can come and go as they please out of this area. Although none of this stuff can be confirmed, these are the reports that I have come across while researching this topic. And so if this area is a portal type area, maybe that could explain where the Aurora Borealis lights are coming from. Maybe these Aurora Borealis lights are emitting from this dimensional area of spiritual energy and unexplained phenomena. We also discussed in one of my videos how contained within the flat earth circle, there could be many worlds within it.
Inside the circle is your world and my world. Many others. No one knows how many. The Dark Tower stands at the center of all things, and it stood there from the beginning of time.
And so if this hole in the North Pole area is real, that could be a place where you could possibly end up in another dimension, which could be mistaken as underneath the Earth. And that could explain the illumination of the sun, where there's reports that there's possible day skies and a sun and everything down there. And so that's another interesting hypothesis to think about when analyzing the subject. We had discussed how the Mayans had these detailed maps about the cave systems that lead to an underworld, but also the Egyptians have a very similar story where cave systems possibly underneath the pyramid could lead to underworld cities. I mean, there could be underworld cities underneath the earth in various locations, and I have actually seen reports of this, which would actually explain the traditional alien that you think of with insect-like eyes, because if there was some type of hybrid DNA manipulation with the fallen ones, these insect-like creatures could be some type of hybrid of insects that were manipulated with fallen angel DNA, and there could possibly be some type of strange insect-like creatures that live underneath the earth, which would basically be part of the fallen angel agenda.
And demons.
You saw hell?
I saw the pit, the black pit open up between me, and I saw the little demons next to me that I used to think were aliens, but they're demons.
And so, as I've discussed on this channel before, I believe alien life could be a possibility, but they're not from outer space. These so-called aliens actually want you to believe that they're from outer space, but these alien creatures are actually demonic manifestations. And actually, that could be part of one of the scenarios they have to mislead mankind even further by presenting themselves as aliens from outer space. And then with that deception, they could mislead many into the kingdom of the fallen ones. And so apparently there's also some type of activity with this whole hollow earth theory in Antarctica, alleged cave systems and whatnot, which also actually makes sense on a flat earth because the Antarctic area would actually be the outer ring of the flat earth. And so if these creatures are contained underneath the dome firmament here with us, the outer ring would be where the edge would be located. So of course they would be trying to get out of this place. And so it would make a lot of sense on a flat earth model for there to be some type of activity related to this hollow earth subject in the Antarctic area. And so what do you think? Are these cave systems underneath the earth natural, or are they some type of tunnel system that leads to the underworld? Or is it possible there's other continents being mistaken as the hollow earth? We also discussed if this hollow earth could be another portal or another dimension, or is there any other theories that you might have on the subject? Either way, it seems like the theories we discussed in this video make much more sense than the hollow earth version from a globe earth perspective. The globe earth version really doesn't make much sense at all if you really think about it. So let me know what you think about all this in the comment section. And really, when we're having this hollow earth discussion from a flat earth perspective, it almost needs a new name because the name hollow earth doesn't really make the most sense when looking at it from a flat earth perspective. So if you have another name for this hollow earth theory from a flat earth perspective, let me know what you come up with in the comment section as well. Follow my website by email where I can send a few briefings to you throughout the week. All you have to do is go to my website at feedyourmind1.com and enter your email address. If you support my work and want to help me get to a point where I can put out much more content, join me at patreon.com/feedyourmind. I have all types of free gifts, rewards, and exclusives for you over there as well. Don't forget to click your notification bell. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. This has been another episode of Feed Your Mind. Thank you for tuning in. Signing off.